Hello. Hi, everyone. Hope you can hear me. So my name is Josh Gilbert. I'm investment analyst here at eToro. And today I want to talk about sort of social investing and sort of what that means and what that looks like. Again, if you're all involved with the crypto space, if you're not, a big part of crypto is community, social aspects, what goes involved with that. So my company, eToro here, we run a social investment platform where you can invest, buy and sell cryptocurrencies as well as 6 different asset classes, crypto, commodities, stocks. But we also have an investment community of over 30 million people. So when we think about sort of being social and sort of what that means, ultimately it's about sort of interacting, friends, family. But when we sort of translate that into the investing world, I'm sure we all have conversations here with friends or family sort of regarding investments. Probably all had conversations with your friends in terms of what crypto you're buying as well. These conversations in recent years have sort of transcended into dinners, family sessions, talking around the the dinner table, family gatherings, social events. We've all have a friend or friends that obviously invest in crypto or some sort of assets. I think lockdowns globally helped that. You might even be considered the one that sort of knows what they're doing and can provide that sort of advice. But as I say, when we think sort of crypto, we think community, especially when we look at things like NFTs. They're huge communities that sort of are based around the world. And this has led to communities being built globally with crypto, NFT assets, as I say, if you're in Discords, if you're in Twitter, etc. What we try to do is essentially combine that. So we tried to take a Discord or a Facebook and put that in with an investment platform. Some of these communities are huge in size. They're very, very mighty in power. If we think sort of some of the meme coins, such as like Shiba and Dogecoin, their communities move crypto asset prices. You can even think of Elon Musk. When he tweets, he moves markets. So, as I say, at eToro, what we want to do is we want to essentially bring the power of a community together into a trading platform. You can leverage the community to become a more sort of successful trader. So over the years, that sort of social element has changed. We do this online, FaceTimes, we communicate with people around the world. And sort of essentially, if we think to some of the most famous investors out there, crypto world, you probably think Vitalik. We had obviously Michael Saylor on just a moment ago as well. In the sort of the traditional investing space, we probably think Warren Buffett. But why do we look up to these people? The reason we look up to these people is that they're so successful. They're the most successful investors of our generation. And we all probably wish that we could probably copy them. Especially Warren Buffett in those times. Again, he's not a big lover of crypto, but if we could have followed Vitalik from his crypto journey, Satoshi could have copied them. So here at eToro, as I say, we have over 30 million users where you can copy different traders. So somebody sat next to you, they could be the best crypto trader here. They could be the worst crypto trader here. But the difference is you can find people on the platform to copy and trade with. The benefits that we have here as well with obviously a community is that you can have those conversations, you can find exactly what you want to invest in. And a big part of crypto these days is that sort of the correlation with equities. So as I say, on the platform ourselves, we have equities. The macro picture of crypto has a bigger impact now than it ever has done. Again, if we go back to say 2013, 14, an inflation reading would have had pretty much 0 impact on crypto. In some cases, it probably would have a positive impact on crypto. Unfortunately, now we sort of have we move in tandem with equities. So the Nasdaq, for example, that inflation print that we had out of the US last week saw Bitcoin tumble. Even with the Ethereum merge that was obviously went without a hitch and was pretty successful, that inflation data has ultimately meant that we haven't been able to sort of move higher. And that sort of knowledge that we have on the sort of social side will allow you to sort of continue to grow your knowledge, and especially in a bear market as we are at the moment, we believe that growing your knowledge is sort of more important than ever. And we can all probably claim to sort of replicate similar investments of some of the successful investors that we have out there. But it's obviously great to be able to try and buy and sell assets at the same time of those successful investors. So in a minute, I'll sort of show you how that works and what that looks like. But social trading, as I say, is sort of an innovative way of trading, combines financial markets with obviously social features. You can discuss markets with other investors. We have over 30 million users from over 100 countries. And the concept came in 2007, where we wanted to sort of let other people see their investments. You can have a private account or an open account as well. But having a public profile meant that you could see what other investors are doing and copy other successful investors as well. So it allows investors such as yourselves to sort of pick top traders from around the world. And as you say, sort of social has completely changed over the years. You know, go back 5 or 6 years, you never would have had a Discord where you could have had that conversation with people about crypto assets. And if you think about one trader in the crypto space that you would love to copy, again, I mentioned some a minute ago, but you would all have one that you would sort of want to know. But essentially, we want to be able to provide everyone with the ability to build a multi-asset investment platform. Crypto, we believe, is obviously one of the most investable asset classes in the 21st century and is ultimately the most probably popular investment asset that we have. But to build sort of a long-term retirement portfolio, or to have a portfolio whether you're 25, 35 years old, you're probably going to have a mix of other assets with that as well. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you sort of what that looks like and how that essentially works to give you a bit more insight. And then I'll also try and talk about the macro picture a bit more, given the fact that we have obviously a multi-asset platform. I can sort of give you a bit more knowledge in terms of that macro environment and sort of how that stands. So with sort of crypto assets at the moment, we ultimately believe that the bottom has been found, especially on sort of Bitcoin and Ethereum. That macro environment, yes, the inflation number was lower than what we had in previous months, but it wasn't anywhere near sort of what markets had expected. However, we believe that that inflation peak has come and gone in the US. It may be stickier for longer. It may actually mean that we are going to sort of see a difficult environment in crypto. We're probably going to stay pretty range bound for the next couple of months, maybe between that sort of 19,000 and sort of 23,000 level for the next sort of few months. We ultimately believe that the worst in that side is behind us. So we have about sort of 15 analysts globally from across the world here at eToro, and that sort of combines all of us together to sort of be able to give you these sort of insights throughout the platform as well. So here is just basically an example of one of our copy traders that we have here at eToro. So what does it look like? Who is this person? What do they do? So as I say, when you have your trading assets that you have worldwide, whoever you trade with already, whatever exchange that you choose to trade with, you will obviously have your assets, you'll have those, your performance in there that you see. What we've built is we've built the ability for you to be able to see other traders' portfolios, and you can also be copied yourself, okay? So a quick example of that, and what that sort of looks like here is we have obviously this social network, right? So think Facebook, but rather than posting pictures of your cats, you're going to be posting about crypto and what that looks like. And we will tell you, people will post, you can sort of engage in that community, you can find out about new crypto assets, you can ask questions, as I say, with 30 million users to find out exactly what they are all talking about. So here you can see, this is one of our most successful crypto traders here in Australia. Kurt has been with us for sort of over 4 or 5 years, and ultimately posts quite regularly about sort of the space to give you an update on what's going on. So if you ultimately don't have that time or inclination to want to go out and research all the assets yourself, this is where sort of eToro comes into the fold. We will give you a rundown of what this trader looks like, who he is, what he does, and a bit of an idea of exactly what he's trading in. The key thing here is you can see their performance, so their stats and exactly how they've performed in their period of time with being with us. Essentially, Kurt here obviously has had a pretty difficult year in the markets, as has everyone sort of this year so far. But it gives you an idea of how they've performed over time and what they've sort of been investing in. We can go back, see their risk, see exactly what they're trading, how many copiers they have, the amount of assets they have under value at eToro as well, and the total trades, etc. as well. The key point here as well is that you can then see their portfolio. You can see exactly what these investors are trading in. So as I said earlier, we're not just a crypto platform, we have multi-assets. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other assets you can. But on top of that, we also have other assets as well. So we've got stocks, ETFs, and those other assets in there. But as you can see, a lot of the assets that Kurt has is obviously crypto assets as well. So there's plenty on there for those investors to sort of be able to trade. The benefit with this is that we don't charge fees. So we don't charge a fee for you to copy someone at eToro. We have a 1% fixed unified fee on crypto assets. So how it works, very simple, is if I am finding a trader on eToro and I believe they're fantastic, or maybe one of you guys, decides to create an account or want to do that, we simply hit copy. It's as simple as that. It's a click of a button. You decide how much you want to copy that person with, and it's done on a proportional percentage basis, and it copies their portfolio, every single trade in that portfolio, and then every time they place a trade, you place a trade automatically. So you don't have to lift a finger, you don't have to do anything, you never have to place a trade if you don't want to. So it's completely managed by these guys. So essentially, it's a managed asset with zero fees. So we don't want you to be paying 2, 3, 4, 5% to have a managed asset platform. It's sort of completely free. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly show you what the sort of what it would look like when you copy someone and how that works. So here is just a quick example of sort of the portfolio that you would build. So as I said earlier, multi-asset, so you'll have the access to stocks, you'll have access to sort of portfolios, you'll have access to commodities. So again, in a crypto bear market that we're in at the moment, really important is to diversify, not just be in one asset class, but to continue to obviously build within sort of that space as well. But here, just a quick example. I'm not sure this guy will have any crypto in his portfolio, but this is exactly what a copy portfolio would look like. So again, you can see that all of these trades have been automatically done on my account, but I've not actually clicked on this profile for probably about 1.5 years. And we can see the value of my investment, the percentage I'm down or in profit on that investment, and I can see all of the assets that I have here. The beauty of it is if I copy someone and let's just say it's a complete crypto portfolio, and let's just say they hold, say, Tron in their portfolio, and you don't like Tron, you want to get rid of it, you can click on the asset in the portfolio, you can click close, and then that asset will close and then close out from those trades as well. So as I say, we have lots of different assets on there. The copy sort of feature is unique to ourselves here at eToro. We're a regulated platform, so we're one of the only regulated crypto asset platforms here in Australia. We have wallets, etc. But as I say, the sort of the social element itself really sort of combines everything that sort of we look to do in terms of putting a Discord together and then having in a platform in there. So we also have a virtual account where you can practice your trading, you can practice your investments. As I say, I've done not too bad here so far. Probably bought Bitcoin very early on. But again, it's that sort of social element that we have here, trying to combine communities, bring everyone together, have those conversations, and find out exactly what's going on. Just away from that, in terms of the sort of the macro picture, just to sort of come back to that and that correlation that we've seen with crypto and equities over the last sort of 6 to 9 months, maybe even slightly longer, especially as sort of the financial tightening comes in from central banks across the globe. Ultimately, we're starting to see larger institutions get involved with crypto assets more than ever before. In the last year, we've had Goldman, BlackRock, JP Morgan, all of these sort of names looking to offer crypto assets to their retail clients. And again, we know that these are traditional money managers. We know that these guys have trillions of dollars worth of assets in there. Ultimately, because we've been in a bear market, unfortunately, this hasn't had the effect on crypto asset markets as we would have liked. But in obviously the next few years, we believe this is going to help drive crypto asset prices further when we sort of, it's building a foundation on this market to sort of ultimately move forward. So it will take a bit of time, but as I say, these hedge funds, these institutions, they're treating crypto assets at the moment as they would any other equity. If they're selling Nasdaq, if they're selling if they're selling Meta, if they're selling Apple, unfortunately they're selling crypto assets at the same time. But as that continues and as we continue to build, we've seen the Ethereum merge happen and go off pretty much without a hit successfully. As I say, that macro picture has had such a big impact on the crypto space at the moment. We ultimately had a completely successful merge, one of the biggest technological upgrades in crypto history, and we actually saw pretty much little to no movement. Of course, it will have a bigger impact on the overall space as time goes on. But I think I just want to finish on sort of a last point, is that we will ultimately at some point get through this bear market, and as I say, that institutionalization of the asset will help us to sort of build the foundations. And a little old saying from the equity world is that bull markets are built on the shoulders of bear markets. So that's something really important to remember. Unfortunately, we can't always have assets that go up in value. And in terms of the platform itself, if you're looking to have that sort of diversification, then we have, as I say, those 6 different asset classes where you can trade, buy, sell assets all throughout. And if you want to sort of get involved and have that social element as well, you can. And the key thing and the final thing that I'll sort of finish with is anyone in the room fancies themselves as a top trader, a top investor, you can open your account and you can be copied. So if you are very good at trading crypto, you can sign up, create your account, you can be just like Kurt, who I showed you earlier, and depending on the assets that you have under management, we pay you for your performance. So to give you a brief idea, one of our most successful traders that we have, that's based out of the UK, he has over 2 million followers. And he looks after over $5 million in assets under management. It's actually close to about $100 million assets under management. And we pay him close to about $2.5 to $3 million a year. So he's just an everyday person. Me, you, anybody in this room can do this. So if you fancy yourself as a successful trader, we will help you, we will support you, we will put you onto the platform, we will promote you if you are successful. We're just got a nice little booth over there. There's a crypto claw if you want to find out a bit more about sort of the investing platform, if you want to know a bit more about the macro picture, equities, etc. Come over to our booth, have a chat, and we'll go from there. Do we have a mic? Questions or? Yeah? Does anyone want to ask a question? Anything they might want to ask? No? Go for it, my friend. So just to let everyone else know, the question was in regards to the copy trading feature, in terms of getting paid and their performance. We don't just want to pay people that maybe don't perform well. As you said, bull markets, anybody can be a genius, correct? So the idea is that we go through stages. So we have different tiers of the copy staging system. So you have a cadet, which is sort of the beginners, and then we go all the way through to what we would call like an elite pro. You have to be in those stages for very many months to be able to ultimately get to that top stage where you start to sort of then earn the real money. So we have to see at least of a year's worth of performance until we really start to pay you the big dollars. And again, it's the community. People decide. Unfortunately, when people don't do well, people don't copy you. You don't have that performance there. And if your performance isn't good, you will lose copiers, you won't get paid. So it goes through those tiers. You don't get to ultimately an elite level until you have a range of copiers to be able to do that. And the only way that you do that is to ultimately be successful. So yeah, we do have obviously a verification system to make sure that the people that are trading on the platform are successful in doing that. And then when you get to sort of that elite pro level, you'll also we make all of those traders go through a trading course. So it's actually like a CFA kind of example, but they actually do that over it's a UK-based sort of exam where we sort of verify everyone that's sort of coming through. Okay. Anyone else? All good? Super. All right, well, that's it from me. As I said, guys, we're just based over there, so if anyone wants to have a chat, feel free to come over, and thanks very much for listening.